Hi there, this one is from Broken City Percussion Snare Packet from 2021. This one's called Flea. There's lots of flams in here, a few polyrhythm things towards the end, but I think I can get you through this one. Let's give it a go. We're going to start straight in on that first bar, and what you can see there is you can see that we've got some flam accents played like this, and then we've got one flam out on its own. Now the timing of this one is the one that's a little bit more difficult. So we get this. Which to listen to makes a fairly simple tune. But once I put the metronome on, you'll start to hear it's a little bit difficult. Obviously you want to be able to mark time to this. So if we break it down into sections, we've got, that's the first two counts. And that's what throws most people, that third partial. And then that last one is on the second partial. So it's in between. One and a two, a three and a four, sorry. One and a two, a three and a four, and one and a two, a three and a four, and. Now this one here, if you have any problems hitting this one, simply get your metronome, counting threes. And what you'll probably find then is you can hear those notes that are missing. So we get. Okay, 4 of those, so 2 bars worth of those, so we get and then we suddenly jump from triplets into duple, into 16th notes, and we get this part here. So I'm going to split those 2 bars of 3/4 into 2 halves. The first bar we get 1 E and a, E and a, 2 and 1, 1 E and a, E and a, 2 and 1. Now there's a marking on the music as well to say that we've changed volume slightly, so we're going to go down slightly here. That's most likely because of the speed, because this is crazy fast when we get to full speed. Okay. Then the second half. Again, I'll do that with a metronome for you. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and. It's triplet, sorry. That's the first bar. 2, 3, 4. Second bar. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Put the 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put a flam release on the end because that's what happens to start the next bar, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So your first port of call then for this is to try and get used to going from these triplets up to that second section. And it feels like 2 different songs there, right? I'll try and do that for you. We'll just keep looping that around, all right? 2 bars of the triplets and the 2 bars of the 16th notes. So 1, 2, 3. Change. Or rushed a bit. So as I just did there, there's a tendency there to rush, all right? We're going at 110 beats a minute here. They want you playing up at 150 for this eventually, so it's a lot more difficult. Actually, I should say it's probably, you're less likely to make mistakes at that speed because you're going so fast, there's less room for error. Whereas at this speed, you can hear that I was rushing a little bit. So make sure you hold back on that. Right, the next section then. So we play a little kind of shopping spree type pattern here. We got, so that's our first bit. So we've already played those, but this time we've got 4 flams, decrescendo. Then flip into the left hand. As soon as we've flipped onto that left hand, we're on to the end. So we get, and this one's all in triplets. So we've done the right hand. So what they've written on this one is they've put an extra, they've moved where these are actually to get the left hand to have a go. So the second bar, if you have a look at this one, it goes, then we do another flam triplet, and this time we end with the flams. So we get, I'm going to end back with right-handed flam. So the 2 together, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. We'll try that with a metronome again at 110. So 1, we're going to do it twice as well, all right? So 2 lots, 1, 2. Repeat. Again, 2, 3, 4. That's section 2 done. Third one. Again, we can continue with this kind of shopping spree type theme here, but we've got a little bar of 2/4 suddenly pushed into this one, all right? So let's have a look at this. First bar and second bar are the same, played off the right hand and then the left hand. So let's jump straight on that first bar where we've got this. So those 2 little flams are fairly low, followed by that loud right hand. So 1 and a 2 and a, 1 and a 2 and a, 1 and a 2 and a, 3 and a, and then we've got a 4 and a. So the first time it's 2 flams for the switch, second time it's just a 1, so more like a cello. So 1 and a 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, 1 and a 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, and hopefully you notice all of the accents are on the right hand. Then we repeat the same off the left hand. So this time it's 2 right hand flams with a loud left. So again, all left-handed. So right onto left. Left. Let's go again. 2, 3, 4. Again, 2, 3, 4. At the end, we get those 6 little flams. In fact, there's 5 because the first one is just a tap. And then we start the next section. So I'm just going to check. Yeah, it always starts with a flam. And a loud flam. So that was the little bar of 2/4 I was talking about. So if I play that part for you, 3, 4. And then we repeat. Repeat. And that's all of that section. Let's try that with a metronome. Again, 110. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. Right, let's move forward. Next section. What's this? 1, 2, 3. It's the fourth section, isn't it? So this one here, again, we've got a bar of 2/4 to begin with. And then we drop into this pattern. Now this little rudiment here, we've got a right-handed accent, then 2 left-handed flams, and then another left. So it's a grouping of 4 notes. So I'm going to try and get you to practice those. So it goes right, left, left, left. And we'll sort the heights out in a moment. So just get used to that. Just as a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 flam, flam, tap. 1 flam, flam, tap. Now what you've got to start eventually getting used to is the left hand kind of just drops. And the right hand does a similar thing. So it's almost like dropping our sticks like this, but obviously creating the rudiment. So we get... So my left-handed flams are actually decreasing in height. So if you want to practice on its own, just practice doing that. A flam, another flam, and then a tap. And nice and loose. Then add the whole part. So then we get... So again, it doesn't matter here if you're thinking of 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eventually we're going to put them into triplets. But that's an unusual rudiment right there. So what we do in this part then is we go 1, 2, stop. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the very first time we start with the flam. Now, then we don't have a flam on this one. And we actually end with, what's marking this there? I think it's piano, 2 little quiet taps, right, which are going to be the start of the next bar. So end with a real quiet right hand. So on the last tap. Okay, so let's try all that section with the metronome. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, no flam. I played a flam, there shouldn't be a flam. There we go. And again. And that's that section done. Right, the next section, we actually use that same rhythm. What we do, a bit like we did at the start, we go from that triplet feel into the duple to the 16th notes, and we go 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Those are very, very quick, all right? 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Same rudiment. Which is you've got to really work the speed of these. It's hard to get that little sort of droppy, floppy motion. Right, that's followed up by the bar of 3/4, where we're doing 16th note hand-to-hand 3. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1. And as we often do in this, we get a bit of an accent on the downbeat, on the not the downbeats, the first note of each 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then kind of a droppy rebound on the rest. So a slight accentuated 3. So that pattern would go. And we're going to end with a loud right hand. And with everything in this particular exercise, it's all about getting it in time. So we've got this. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. That's the first bar. 3, 4. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. If you can't do this fast, just slow it down. 1 and 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1. That's the whole part, right? Two, 3, 4. I'm rushing a bit. 3. That was a bit better. So that was the whole of it, right? So you notice the first time we do the bar 3, 4, and we start again. Let me just play that actually and make sure that. No, we don't. No, we don't. Right, let's just run that again. Right, I don't want to confuse you. Right, so we've got. So we're going back to that triplet variation of it again, aren't we? All right. So if I run that with a metronome, let's clear this up, right? I didn't want to confuse you there. Right, we've got 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 1, 2. That's what I should have played, all right? So that second one, we should already recognise that because it's the same as the part that we've already done, all right? So same again. Now it's quite hard at this speed to slow those down, to not rush, all right? So hold back on those. And this time we do, when we get to that part, we do the... where we actually end with a rim shot. So that's the bar of 4-4. So let's just run that one. And then we end with a left-handed flam on the next bit. So I'm going to run all of that section because that's quite a complex one there. All right, I'm going to play it once all the way through for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we actually, let me think we're going to go from the triplets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sixteenths. Triplets. Sixteenths. And left-handed flam to end. I find it hard to speak and talk my way through that one and stay in time, right? So this time I'm not going to speak, I'm just going to do my best to play in time, right? So. Again, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I messed that up, didn't I? Let's try that again. So we're getting there. So you can see I haven't got it 100%. I've learnt this and I'm trying to do my best to teach you this so you can get it, all right? So you've got to get these reps in so that you don't make silly mistakes like the one I just made there. Right, this next section has got this sort of 3/2 polyrhythm feel to it. So these threes, the speed of the... Let's just play it. So I've got... Well, how do we know what speed those threes are there? Well, what we've got in there is if I take the threes out and I play single notes and I put the metronome on, we've got this pattern. So I've kind of got this da 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 da. So if we learn this rhythm as the whole rhythm, I've kind of got this 3/2 pattern going on. So if you try playing that for the left hand, right left, on the screen at the moment, so, and if I loop that around, I've got, well those single notes, these ones here, now, we're playing 3 notes in between each one of those, so those triplets will be in there. And you've got to get that feeling between that pulse and those threes that you're playing there. Again, this is one that's actually easier when you play it a little bit faster, but I've got to make sure you're hearing that pattern. Be able to play it in time, alright? So there's 3 lots of those. And at the end, we do a rim shot onto that quiet left hand. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Two, three, 4. This next bit, you'll recognise this. We've already done this, but off the right hand. So we've got left to start with now. 1 and 2 we under, 3 we under, 4 we under. So it's back into that nice little rudiment. But this time the second bar goes a little 6th note. 1 and da, 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 da. So we're in 16th note triplets. Two, 3, 4. 1 and 2 we under, 3 we under, 4 we under. 1 and digga da digga da digga da digga da da. Let's try it with the Met, 110. Two, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And that takes us to the final section. So in this final section, if we try and learn, if I try to do my best to explain this, if you take 4 16th notes, just hand to hand, and then do some 16th note triplets just with 3. So we go, hold on. I'll do it in the Met. And that's fairly simple to see, understand and explain, alright? 1 E under 2 and 1 E under 2 and 1. Well, what they've done is if you think of those 4 16th notes, that 1 E and we've taken away the 1 E under, and we've taken the 6 that was here, scooted it across. So we're starting the 6 on the 1 E and A, still playing the 6 at the same pace that we would do, but then we've got one space at the end for our 16th note again. And so what we do in this part is we almost kind of use the force a little bit. We kind of lose the track of the time when we're playing that 6. Now we feel it on the 1 E and so that's fine. That keeps us in time there. And we feel it again on the 2 E and So it's only a short space of time that we disappear into this void of not knowing where the click is. So the first one that we do a bounce triplet, but every other time it's going to be off the left hand. Now let's start with the left hand one. So we get 1 E and 1 E and then we to the 3s. So we get that pattern. 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and So that's the tune we want. 1 E and And again, we put the 3s in there. Now, the very first time, because we're not on the left hand at that point, we're on the right hand, we just do a bounce triplet into it. So 1 E and. And there's 1, 2, 3 bars of that. 1 E and. 1 E and. 1 E and. Back to the start. Do that with the Met. 3, 4. That wasn't a great example. I do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So you've got to lock into these. 1 E under, 2 E under, 3 E under, 4 E under. You've got to power through those hand-to-hand 3s. And at the end, we've just got this little tag. So that's the part. And that's the end. So that whole last section, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to tie the last two sections that we spoke about up together because it's a difficult transition. So I'm going to run from those two lefts where we went 2, 3, 4. So those threes that we do before at the same pace. So we're going to get, it's not too bad, right? 1 and 1 and 1 and. Let's run it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that, I'm happy to say, is the whole of the exercise. It's difficult. You're probably, if like me, going to have to go back and go through each of those sections and work them out a little bit at a time. There's certain parts in there that I've got to really work on this rudiment to get 153 beats a minute that they're asking for. Let's show you that. So I'm struggling with that on my left hand on the now, maybe a bit easier on a drum than this pad. Maybe on a rubber pad I can pull it off. Yeah, a little bit easier, right? But there's no excuse, right? I need to practice that. So to work on the speed, I've just got to get that left hand just right. Now for me, it's more of a, I've got to figure out that part. Now what I would do to work on that is I'd put the metronome on. I figure out, that's what I've got. So I've got to practice doing that, which I can see I'm pretty weak at 153 beats a minute to be able to pull off this exercise. The threes at the end, again, they're blazing at 153 beats a minute. That's fast. So you're going to have to learn how to rebound those without pounding and keep that speed up. So I'll have a go at playing the whole thing for you. Slow, medium, fast. See if you can hang. Don't stress if it takes you a few days, a few weeks, even months to learn this. Just make sure that you eventually can play it. Give it a go. Flea at 110 beats per minute. One 125 beats per minute. Flea, 140 beats per minute. $150 beats per minute. Ending, man. Go practice it, work that speed. See you next time.